Hey, what's going on, Period 6? Mr. Ince here. Hope you're having a good Friday. I just want to take a few minutes to go through some of these slides and point out some important directions for you for Friday. First off, make sure that you've turned in your 2.10 activity guide, which was our scorecard for some of those amazing visuals from yesterday. Now, on to today. So we've been collecting data about ourselves over about the last week or so, and our survey has over 300 different responses to it. So we're finally going to take a look at that data, and depending on which number you selected, you're going to have to filter it and organize it and, quote, clean it up in a specific way. Before we start that, though, I'd like you to respond in your notes to describe several different challenges that you think you might encounter as we take a look at the data that we've been collecting. Okay? So once again, in your notes, go ahead and try to describe 2 or more challenges that you think you might encounter based on the data that we've been describing and how students have been responding. After that's done, there are several slides that discuss this idea of dirty versus clean information. Quote, dirty really is implying that for one reason or another, it's not ready to be analyzed. So we're going to investigate what that looks like and learn how to use some different tools to help us clean that data. You see, this person's made up of zeros and ones, and they're showering, so they're being cleaned. That's the joke. All right, next up. So today's challenge, you're assigned with having to clean up a specific set of information for our survey. You are going to be a spreadsheet expert by the end of this. So let's take a look at how to do this. First off, based on the letter that you selected, you are going to be filtering our spreadsheet based on this specific information. So if I selected letter A, that means that I'm going to need to filter our spreadsheet of over 300 responses down to just those from Monday for the students who replied with 6 hours of sleep or less. That's pretty specific. Okay, and we're going to have to do some cleaning up first. Now, cleaning up that data. So you have a copy waiting for you of our spreadsheet in Google Classroom. There are several resources there, including this video. So once you have found your specific copy of the data, I'd like you to do something. Here's my giant warning symbol. So before you start filtering, you're going to want to make sure that all of your sleep hour information, so once again, that was the sleep hour information, is typed in the same format. So that is going to be the cleaning aspect. So you want to make sure that you don't have things spelled out like 6.5 or 6 with 1/2 as a fraction. You're going to want them to consistently be in a numerical format. So for example, 6.5 instead of 6.5. So you're going to want to make sure you manually clean that up before you start your filtering. Now, each of these slides goes through a specific goal, and this is also located in our code.org classroom within bubble number 2. That's where you can find a further explanation of what this GIF is showing. Or you can just follow this. So you're going to clean that up. You're going to go through goal number 1, which is filtering. You will then have goal number 2, which is using a specific complex filter so that you can quickly filter them out by all of your hours that are less than 6 or greater than 6, for example, depending on what information you selected. Then you're going to go through and sort. Okay, I want you to sort from least to greatest in terms of sleep hours. Now, do not try to rearrange this yourself. Make the spreadsheet do the work for you. That's what it's supposed to do. Once again, all of this can be found in bubble number 2. This is an example of what a finished product up to this point should look like for the first 3 goals. If you jump ahead to bubble number 4, that's going to talk about categorizing. What I need you to do is you'll see all of our responses that were more free form, as in you typed in your responses about what you did to relax. Those replies are all over the place. And so I'd like you to read through your responses. You're going to add a column next to it, and then you're going to put your 2 to 3 categories for that. An example category might be TV, or for instance, gaming, Okay, so you want to look for patterns that you notice and see if you can get all of your responses into 2 or 3 different categories. This would be an example of an added column highlighted here just to be able to show you. Okay? And then you want to make your categories for that, which you'll need to manually type. Finally, I want you to draw some conclusions. So based on the information that you see, look for some patterns. What sort of things do you notice? And then finally, goal number 6 is that you're going to need to create a visual, a scatter plot specifically for your new subset of data. This video on this slide has a pretty terrific voice that talks you through it. So please feel free to use that if you're unaware of how to create a scatter plot. Now, once you've done all of this, you're like, I am rocking and rolling. I am ready to go. What am I doing with this? Within Classroom, you'll see a class slideshow to which you're responsible for a slide. Now, I've set it up to look something like this, and you will put in your name, your topic, as in which day and hours did you filter for. I want you to type the 2 different conclusions that you found from your data, and then add your scatter plot in the top right, as well as a screenshot of your data in the bottom. And that will be your clean data once you've gone through all those filtering, sorting, and categorizing elements. If there's still time remaining, there is a good old check for understanding here for 2.13. All right, good luck cleaning it up. I look forward to seeing those responses. That updated spreadsheet and is meant to be submitted on Classroom by midnight Friday. So good luck. I look forward to seeing you guys on Monday. Have a good weekend.